Hello and welcome to the part 2 of building the clock. In this part of the video, we are going to create a function that's going to be used to display the time on a label. So we're going to be using the Tkinter label widget. A widget basically is something that can be used to create labels, buttons, and other accessories you need for building your application. We're also going to be using the time module, and from the time module we're going to be using the step_time function, which retrieves the time from the computer. So to create a function in Python, you type in def, you do a space, and then you give the function a name. So I'm going to create a function called time. So that's going to be the name of my function. And then you add the colon. When you press enter, it should provide the indentation. So you can see the flashing there. That's the indentation. So first thing I need to do, I want to create a string variable. So I'll say string, and I'm going to set this variable to equals to the step_time function that I imported from the time module. So you type in str_f_time, and inside that function I'm going to specify the formatting, the way I want the clock to be displayed inside the label. So I'm going to enclose that in quotes. So the way I want it to be displayed is hours, which is going to be in capital. Then we add the colon, you do the percent sign, and then I want the minutes to be displayed. You add the colon, and then you do the percent sign again, and that will display the seconds. If you also want to display whether it is AM or PM, you do a space, and then you add the percent, and then in lowercase you say P. So this will display the time if it's PM or if it's AM. But if you don't want that displayed, then you can leave out the percent P. Now the next thing we want to do, we want to create a label variable that will display the time retrieved from the computer. So to create the label variable, I'll type in LBL, and I'm going to configure what is going to be displayed inside that label. So you do .config, and then inside that config method, you specify what it is you're going to config. So I'm going to add a variable called text, and I'm going to set that variable to equals to this variable called string that I defined on line number 8. So that's what will display. So whatever time is retrieved from the computer using the step_time will be stored in this variable called string. And then this label variable I'm creating here, this text here, variable here, is going to equal to string, which is this variable on line number 8. So whatever value is captured for the time will be displayed in the label. Now I want to be able to schedule this function I've defined here called time to run after a certain period elapses. So to do that, I do LBL, which is a label. So I'm going to type in the method. There is a method called after. So this is a method that will get this function, schedule the function to run after maybe every milliseconds or so. So inside this after method, you specify the time that you want this function to be called every time. So I'm going to say after 1 millisecond, you do a comma, and then you say time. This time now is referring to this function called time. So I'm saying that once this basically is the clock ticking. So every time it ticks after this milliseconds, it will call this function called time. It will pull the time from the computer using the step_time. So that is basically the function that will retrieve the time from the computer. So that is it for this video. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.